that I need to get the release liner up here when I run laminate. I have two ways to do that. Right now, I took a hunk out of my adhesive over there, so I gotta cut that off, right, to get it down. So what I'm gonna do here is this, is I'm gonna flip this over this way. And that way there, when I need to put my adhesive up here, on my release liner, I'm gonna stick it right to that. The second one is this. Is I'm gonna take and do a thumbprint. This is good for your printers. That if you wanna wind the prints up and you need the core, but you don't wanna unroll the prints, so you use your 1-inch masking tape, right? You go just like this. Do a thumbprint. One thumbprint here, and then you spin the roll backwards, and then you cut it off. So you have double-sided, but it's not really attached to the core. And the reason for that is this, is that if I want to get the core out without hitting the prints, I would hit the core onto the floor, it would break the tape off. And I'd be able to pull the core out without unrolling the whole roll of prints. Okay? Real easy. Alright, now. Good with that now? Alright, we're going to take this off because I don't need this right now and it's going to be in the way for showing you. Put this right down here right now. Alright, now. We have the correct pressure for our 3/16 boards, right? Real easy here. We're going to take and pull our adhesive off. We already set the brake. We're going to pull it right down to the table. Right? I got two ways to do this. I could use my leader to feed this in, right? Well, keep in mind that the table is a hinge. So we're just going to lift this and tuck the adhesive underneath it and push it back in. So almost all ready to go just the way it is. And then we're going to take our leader and push that in. And as I push it in, I hit the dry. Now what's going to happen is it's not going to feed in anything. Alright, we'll shut it off.
That little pin
Yeah,
inside.
exactly. So how do we get that to go? Snail mold foot pedal. And then what will happen is once my eye comes back on, I'll be able to go into automatic. Now what's going to be nice about this right now, it's going to stop automatically and it's going to keep running and it's going to wait for my next panel. See it stop? Machine is running. Why is it running? It only goes in if there's pressure. So that's sitting there waiting for my next board. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our panel that we want to coat, and I'm actually going to do the other side here. We're just going to feed this in underneath the eye. It's going to grab and pull itself in. It's going to run this whole panel out until the next. It's already got adhesive on the other side. That's why it's going in upside down, if that's what you're looking at. Alright, so coming out the back, I have a table on here, which is a piece of stainless steel polished. It's got a release liner coating on it. We get to peel that off. But coming out the back is real easy. We're just going to take our knife, and I'm going to run this knife right in along the edge of that board, right? And then this, I'm going to fold over so I can keep using this panel every time now, because I have release on it. It's going to peel off, right?
And the reason this side doesn't stick is just because there's not pressure.
Correct.
Right,
Exactly right. Yes. And what's going to happen now?
It's gonna stop.
It's going to stop. Why? Because there's no pressure. Once we lose pressure, it stops. So actually we could take a box of 30 boards. We're going to coat them all, one by one, coming out. We're going to trim them out. We're going to put them back in the box. And that way there you have boards anytime you want. Here.
And that's a lot more cost effective.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Extremely.
Okay, so this is going to stop. It's going to wait for me now. What if I was only doing one panel? Oh, it just stopped. Excuse me. Now watch. Now, what if I'm only doing one panel? Stop the machine. If I'm doing more, I just feed them in until I'm done, right? If I'm doing, and I wanna stop right now, I just hit the stop button. I'm just gonna back this out a minute until I get a loop. And once I get that loop, I'll come through here with my zippy and I'll wind this back up. Okay, because what we're doing is trying to work smart. We're trying to use all the adhesive that we possibly can. And then we'll hit our button again, and it'll come out. Now, could you see the reason why we need a trim table and a prep table? A
Yeah.
prep- Yeah, right, because I would set all my boards there, and this would come out and get trimmed. Right now, we pretty much gotta go around. All right, so, I'm gonna hit my stop button, which is here. Yep, good. Now, trimming is another thing here. I'm gonna come over here a minute, and I'm gonna open this back up just so I could use this as a table. When we trim, these boards, we cannot split the boards, so we have to trim a couple ways. We trim from the bottom, and we trim from the top. I usually trim going clockwise, which is this one. All right, we're gonna let the blade follow this around, and then we save this. What do we do with this?
Use it for. We use it for the makeup roll.
Yeah, exactly right. So we just stick that there. All right, and then I spin it again, and I cut this side. And you know, some of these are not gonna be as good as we want them for, but you keep them if you want. If not, throw them out. All right, now, questions. My trimming and my cutting are all perfect, just from years of doing this. So when I did that, I make it look a lot easier than it actually is. I know that. So, okay. Now, any questions so far?
It just saved us a lot of money.
Yeah.